How does international humanitarian law protect civilians during armed conflict? In recent news, the protection of civilians during armed conflict has become a pressing issue. With ongoing conflicts around the world, many are asking, how does international humanitarian law protect civilians? This topic is more relevant than ever, especially as reports emerge from conflict zones highlighting the plight of innocent people caught in the crossfire. International humanitarian law plays a vital role in safeguarding civilians during times of war. The main legal framework includes the Geneva Conventions and the laws of armed conflict. These laws set out essential principles to ensure civilians are protected from the devastating impacts of war. One key principle is distinction. This principle requires warring parties to differentiate between combatants and civilians. Only military targets may be attacked, while civilians must be spared from harm. This is fundamental to minimizing civilian casualties. Another important principle is proportionality. Even when targeting legitimate military objectives, the harm inflicted on civilians must not be excessive compared to the military advantage gained. This principle helps ensure that civilian lives are not sacrificed for military gains. The principle of humanity prohibits causing unnecessary suffering. It emphasizes the need to avoid methods of warfare that result in superfluous injury or suffering. This principle is crucial for maintaining human dignity in times of conflict. Military necessity is also a vital aspect of international humanitarian law. Actions taken during conflict must be necessary to achieve a military objective. This principle ensures that attacks are not indiscriminate and are aimed at defeating the enemy effectively. The Geneva Conventions are a cornerstone of international humanitarian law. These treaties provide specific protections for civilians, prisoners of war, and medical personnel. They mandate that parties to a conflict must respect the rights of these groups and ensure their safety and dignity. For instance, the Fourth Geneva Convention focuses specifically on civilian protection. In addition to the Geneva Conventions, special agreements can expand protections for civilians. These agreements allow parties to a conflict to establish additional obligations beyond standard international humanitarian law requirements. They can address socioeconomic, political, and healthcare issues, thereby broadening the scope of protection for affected civilians. In practice, international humanitarian law is enforced through various mechanisms, including international courts and tribunals that prosecute violations. Humanitarian organizations also play a critical role by providing aid and support to civilians affected by conflict. They often collaborate with governments and international bodies to deliver essential services. Overall, international humanitarian law provides a framework for protecting civilians during armed conflicts. By establishing clear principles and legal obligations, it aims to minimize the suffering of innocent people caught in the turmoil of war.